Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Mariana and you're watching Lucifer's Library. In today's video, I'm going to show you my 2023 reading journal. If my voice is a little bit raspy, it's because I have COVID and I lost the audio for this video, so I'm doing a voiceover. The white notebook I'm showing off is actually my 2022 reading journal, a flip through of which is coming to my channel soon, so keep an eye out for that. For 2023, I only wanted to use spreads that have worked in previous years, and I wanted to organize them based on a system that makes sense in my head. And I've been working on these spreads over the course of the last few months, basically the entire year, and tried to perfect them as much as I can. And I did a spread here and there when I found the time or when I was feeling creative. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. When I open this journal, you will see that I keep these old owl crate cards, which are years old, the design of which I actually really adore and I want to reuse or use in my journal. I want to glue them into the pages and, use them at some point. So that's why I keep them here. I find them beautiful and I just kind of don't want to throw them away for no reason. You will also notice that I had not decorated the cover page or even wrote my name yet, because I am simply just not ready to transfer myself into the 2023 journal until the year 2022 is over. So I will do that once 2023 starts. Opening the next page, you will see my 2023 books read spread. This is a staple in every single reader's journal. I will have organized it by ratings. So on the right side, I have these boxes for ratings and I will color everything in to correspond with each rating. And then as I go, I will color in each book based on what I have rated it during the year. In total, there are 100 books on here, and that is basically my goal for 2023. Even if I don't get it, that's fine. I just wanted to have more rather than less. Moving on to the mandatory calendar spread that I use in every single one of my journals. I use it to track my days. So basically every single day I color in the day that we are currently. And on the right side, I have space for to-do lists or bookish events or readathons, or spaces to keep track of events such as reading sprints or anything bookish related. I really wanted this, and this is a change from my other reading journals, but I am really happy with how it turned out, and I can't wait to see if it will work for the future. Continuing with my 100 books read spread, this is a master list of all the books that I've read or will read in 2023, just a year at a glance. And on the right, I already have a color theme for all the months. And so if I read 10 books in January and my color that I've chosen is purple, I will color each box with purple corresponding with that month. Here I will also track the title, author, and the rating. My book series to complete spread is a standard in all of my journals. It's an easy way to track all the series that you're in the middle of, but this time around I have really narrowed down the series that I'm interested in, as I've DNF'd a lot of series this year or have given up just because I have grown out of the series. Now you will see that I have written all of my series down on a transparent sticky note because I'm not fully committed to all of these and I want to have time to change my mind before the new year starts. I have also dedicated more space than needed for this spread just because during the 2023 year I want to have the ability to write down more series that I start and am in the middle of. Simply put, I will start new series and I will write them down to keep easier track. My reread spread is a spread that I have used over the last few years and it was very handy. However, in 2023, I don't think that I will reread as much. That's why nothing is written down in pencil, but I still have it here just for the sake of having a choice. This standalone spread only includes books that I own that I have not yet read. This list also used to be a lot longer. However, I have already read a lot of books from my shelves, so the ones that are written down in pencil are currently the only ones that I'm interested in. Moving on to my Kindle collection spread, and you will see that I have drawn books, and this is just a fun way to track how many Kindle books I read. It's just like I drew at the beginning of the journal, however this list only includes Kindle books. Then we have my priority list, and here I will write down books that I want to read in 2023 as we get closer to the end of 2022. And on the right, I have books organized based on genres, and I will write them down in pen as we get closer to the end of the year, because I might just unhaul a few books before the year is over. So yeah, organized by genre. On a side note, if you watch my 2022 or 2021 reading journal flip through, you will see that this list of books was 4 pages long. However, this time around, I unhauled so many books that it is only 2 pages long. Alright, let's talk about the content planner on the right side. It's basically the same as it was the previous years, and this is not an original idea. I saw someone else do this, and almost none of my spreads are basically my own. I saw so many people do these things, and I was just inspired, okay? I do not claim any of these spreads to be my own. But yeah, content planner, I wanted to recreate this and make it exactly the same as I did in my 2022 journal. Okay, let's talk about finish the shelves. At the end of the year, I really thought I would have 40 unread books. However, I only had about 8 at the time of filming, or 7. And right now I bought more books, so I think I have 11 unread books in total. So as the year 2023 will progress, I will probably buy more books, enough to fill 40 spots. So every time I finish a book that is from my shelf, I will color in one of those boxes. In a way, this spread is an accidental incentive for me to spend more money on books, because if I don't, this challenge and this spread is gonna be unfinished. Let's talk about my newest spread, which is Goodreads TBR Countdown. This used to be my physical TBR countdown, involving all the books on my shelf that I haven't read yet. It was just a fun way to track and challenge myself to finish my bookshelves. My Goodreads TBR, while drastically edited and shortened, includes books that have been on my want to read list for years. That's why I have decided to finally tackle it. I used to have over 1,100 books on my TBR. I have shortened it, and these are the books that are remaining. Needless to say, if I add more books to my Goodreads TBR during the year, I will add them to this list. My end of year stats spread has evolved into something that's easier to read. We have pages read organized by months. We have physical, audio, Kindle, and unpulled books. Then down we have ratings organized by months again. It's easier for me to read everything. On the right we have pages read, and on the top I will have written the total amount of pages read. Then on the right page on the bottom we have months written down, and here I will write the number of pages I read for every book, including the ones that I have DNF'd. So if I will have read only 17 pages of a book I DNF'd, I will write it down. That way I can get an accurate amount of pages I have read throughout the year, because Goodreads doesn't really count DNF'd books into your page count, and that way I just want to record that, and this makes it easy for me to do so. Let's talk about genres, subgenres, age range, and tropes. Last year this spread was different. I didn't have subgenres. This year I've decided to do so. Each list of genres has a different symbol, so that way when I color in a subgenre, I can write in that symbol so that I know which genre it corresponds with and can deduce what book it belongs to. It's just an easy way for me to track. So if, for example, a book is sci-fi dystopian, I can mark it as sci-fi and dystopian. I don't have to choose one or the other. Classics don't have as many boxes as other genres do, because I don't read them as often. I've also decided to include my favorite tropes, which is enemies to lovers, billionaire, fake dating, BFF's brother or brother's BFF, pregnancy, and summer/trip. Then we have age ranges, anything from middle grade to adult, including new adult. Just had a coughing spree, almost died, but never mind. Let's talk about book length. I have adapted this from last year. Instead of using round numbers, I use numbers that just make sense to my brain. I read most books that are over 350 pages and under 450. So that will be my most colored in spot, I think, the 350 one. And yeah, I use this spread a lot, so thank you to the person who has decided to create it, because it's very useful. On the right, we also have the color scheme, which is color by rating, just so that I can have a quick overview of what colors to use for each rating. And yeah, I wrote it in a sticky note because I don't want to commit to it yet, but I have plenty of space to write it down. Anyway, we have publication year, which is pretty self-explanatory. The year which book was published, and yeah, I can color it in based on what rating I gave it. That way it's easy for me to track which year had the most 5-star reads, for example. Then we have my quarterly TBRs, which are supposed to replace my seasonal TBRs because obviously each season doesn't start at the beginning of the year. Anyway, I have 8 spaces for each quarterly TBR, and I can choose to fill out 8 spaces, or I can choose to fill out 3, or however many I want. This is just a way for me to keep track of the books that I want to read or that are on my radar for those 3 months. Turning your attention to the right page, you will see my 2023 favorites spread, and this is where I'll write my favorite book of that month, and then they will battle it out in an epic battle, which will bring us to my 2023 favorite book of the year. I count a DNF to be a book which I've read over 50% of, and a pass to be a book which I've not reached 50%. So I will write them down on this list so that I can keep track of how many DNFs I've had and how many passes. Each box will contain a Roman numeral documenting the month in which I passed on or DNF'd the book. Hauled books, pretty self-explanatory. I'll probably make another row because I think I will buy more books than there is currently space for. On the right, we have a spread for my friend. Her name is Masha, and I lend her books sometimes. And so this is just a way to see which books of mine she has and which books she has already returned. So this is kind of like a library spread where I'm the library and she borrows books from me. The very last spread that I have is the Unfinished Book Club Picks spread. My friend Ashley and I have a book club called Unfinished Book Club, and this is just a way to keep track of all the books that we're reading for each month. And I love how the washi tape turned out. I think it just makes it so much more interesting, and I love this page so much. I hope you have enjoyed this video and my reading journal. I have a lot of ways to track my reading. I find it to be the most fun to sit down at the end of the month and see all the statistics and write everything down. And even as I go, I love filling things out and seeing through the year how filled out the journal is and how successful I've been in my reading journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find some inspiration or motivation in it. And please leave a like to show support, or subscribe, or leave a book stack emoji just for me to see that you've reached the end of the video. And don't forget, my 2022 reading journal flip through is coming soon to this channel. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye!